on the pad, just under 3 minutes.
Inside the fairing, the satellite's maintained in cool and clean condition through ventilation inside the launcher.
And looks like he's going to call out one of the final
back to Jupiter
operations,
waiting for the umbilical mast to be pulled off the launcher. We see this mast with the umbilical plugs which are connected to the
satellites
base of the fairing and ensure the electrical connection with the satellites.
And what happens is they are pulled away. There's the DDO calling out the disconnection
of the umbilical plugs.
These are electrical umbilicals.
And then this big metallic mass will be pulled off the launcher.
There are connections for the satellites, electrical connections for the lower stage and for the upper stage.
So
Three
the satellites
umbilicals
are totally autonomous and on internal power supply. While we are still topping up the liquid oxygen inside the propellant tanks of the first, second, and third stage.
Coming up on a minute, we'll be into the final minute, final 60 seconds of this historic first launch of Soyuz. Big crowd on hand, lots of press here, as you can imagine, witnessing space history. Maybe we should give a rundown on of the ignition sequence, which you'll see, which is a little different than Ariane.
Yes, this sequence starts approximately 17 seconds before liftoff, and the 20 engines will be ignited first at low thrust level, then intermediate level, and finally full level, enabling the propulsion parameters.
The DDO is going to call out the 1 minute mark now, and we'll be into the final 60 seconds before liftoff.
Top, moins 1 minute.
We are within the last minute before liftoff.
You can hear a pin drop here in Jupiter. People are so attentive. They're starting to go out here. The invited guests going out on the terraces on either side here. They're going to watch the launch from outside. Remember what Alex said, at minus 15 seconds, the first controlled ignition at a weak pressure, minus 7 seconds, and a second one, an intermediate pressure, testing the engines about 50%, monitoring them while it's still on the pad, and then at minus 3 seconds, the order is given for the third and final phase at full throttle. We'll let you watch. There comes the umbilical, right on time. We're ready to go. We'll let you watch the liftoff, and we'll be back with you after Soyuz has cleared the tower. Enjoy it, everybody.
Top, début de séquence d'allumage lanceur. Largage VKF, mise à flot. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, top, décollage.
Well, there you have it. A page of space history has just been written, and you were present at its creation, as were we. Alex is almost in tears next to me.
Yeah,
you were cheering Soyuz on.
And gorgeous.
Beautiful lighting up the morning sun. The DDO saying everything is fine on board. Soyuz lifting off perfectly from the soil here in her new home in French Guiana, beginning her mission number 1777. These pictures will go around the world. They're already on the internet. You'll see them in the papers and TV tomorrow. 313 tons at liftoff, less than half of the mass of Ariane 5. Alex, on the left, on the upper part of the screen, what are we looking at?
The white curve, which shows the flight prediction, which is entirely computed, and the white spot on the curve shows the real-time position of the launcher. This position is regularly sent by the launcher telemetry system and received by the tracking stations and then sent to Kourou, and where it is transmitted to the computers here in Kourou, and you can see the curve and the spot on it.
So you can follow that along with that. The DDO says everything is normal on board. On the lower left, the two bottom lines, A and V.
On the lower left, then we have the altitude, 36, 37 kilometers now, and the velocity, 1.6 kilometers per second.
And the speed needed to inject the satellites is?
Will be at about 7